guys. Um, Man, I'm not really sure how to do this thing. I'm not sure what to talk about. Again, the purpose of this podcast is to sort of catch you guys up, give you a look into what's going on in my world, and for the most part, just sort of unload, unpack. Not to vent or rant or whatnot, but I do want to let you guys know some information. These past few weeks have just kind of been a real kick, in the bad way, like a kick in the gut, I guess. I don't know. I just felt really beat down. I didn't know what to do. First and foremost, those of you who don't have a sort of job that requires you to pay attention, or like, how best to put this? Because when you go to work, you clock in, you clock out, you do your duties or whatnot, but when there's a project where your presence is really and truly required, and this is sort of how the way it was for school for me. School was so detrimental to my mental health and whatnot that I couldn't learn, I couldn't focus, I could barely get by, and I had no social life. Doing YouTube is a bit difficult because I put so much pressure on myself, and I know it's my own fault, because it's not that hard for me to actually do the work, but I get myself so stressed out. And I will say that there are times where, I get home from a long day or a hard day, or, the day, whether it's work related or not, just in the evenings, I'm just sort of worn out and don't want to be working on anything. So then having to switch gears from, getting done doing work and now having more work to do, it's like when you get home from school and then your parents have chores for you to do. It's just not a good feeling. So there is that aspect to it, but also for those of you who aren't a content creator, you know, some sort of streamer, celebrity, or whatever, whatnot, there is an essence of, putting yourself out there that is, it's hard to balance. It's stressful. It can be quite harmful if you're not careful, because you're giving up so much of yourself to do something that normally you, I don't know, I'm not explaining this well, but I have a lot of respect for, YouTubers or whatever, people that are more than just trying to do something, are really, taking the time and effort to do something good, and they're putting themselves out there, and that takes a lot. So I understand that in a sense, and I'm not sure the best way to describe it to those of you who aren't doing that with your lives or don't have a direct reference to relate it to, but it can really cause you to shut down, and then people get confused, like, hey, why didn't you stream? Why didn't you upload? I just don't understand. Like, things were fine, and some of it does break down to, eventually we start putting on a face when we're working up the camera, and a lot of us try not to do that, but almost it ends up worse when you do stop doing that. When you start being more real on the camera, it gets more personal, it gets more real, it gets more vulnerable, and that can be dangerous. That is to say that I don't know where I'm going with this, but cutting back to what happened to me and what's going on with me, I I lost my motivation, for a lack of a better term. I didn't, get depressed or, you know, just decide that I didn't want to do this or whatever. I I missed one upload and then I missed the next one and then I just stopped doing them entirely, and then I felt like a failure, I felt like an idiot, I felt like a waste of space, and this is usually what I do whenever I mess up one thing. It just spirals into all the things that I didn't do or never did, and it makes it hard for me to do anything because if I try to even eat food or lay down or watch something or play a game, I can't enjoy anything anymore because I feel like I've messed up or there should have been something that I did or there is something I should be doing, and I just lose all joy in everything. So I really had to take my time and disconnect and completely reboot and everything. And I don't know how many times this is going to happen because it's happened before and I'm sure it'll happen again. And it's really upsetting because I want to do a good job and I want to, you know, I'm trying to make a schedule and make it easy and just sort of make it work and decide that, this is the way that things are going to be. So I'm just going to take it as that way, and because I'm really good at making stuff happen. I will go above and beyond to make sure things get done. I'm also good at taking instructions and whatnot. When it's up to me to decide when and where to do stuff, I really struggle with trying to figure that out, which is why I want to make a schedule, and that way I don't have to, figure out, oh, what am I going to do today? I just know what I'm going to do today, and then I can just go from there. So, basically, hold on. Need some water. Part of what I'm struggling with is deciding how I want to do things and, whatnot. But I know that I will never be good enough to succeed or do stuff. So that's why I'm trying to do a bunch of different stuff to see what people like and enjoy, what will give me views. I'm also trying to collaborate and work with other people so that I can, branch off into their groups and whatnot. I can't do this alone. I know that. And I really try to reach out and whatnot, and I just keep getting burned and, listening to my own advice. Well, don't just leave it as that, because if you settle with failure, then you have truly failed. So I know that I just need to keep trying and keep searching, keep looking, and eventually I will find people that it'll work out with and things will be good and whatnot. But man, it's a real struggle, and I think it's literally just me. I'm the one that's struggling and not doing well with stuff. So I just know that I have to keep at it, keep trying and keep growing, because I know that there's never going to be a point where, I've done enough that people will be like, okay, yep, now we'll, you know, do the thing or whatever. Because you can never, do enough you can never give enough that people want to start giving back. I know that. Which is unfortunate, especially because I give so much. I try so hard. I work so hard. I care too much. And people say, oh, that's not a bad thing. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because it would be so much better if I just didn't care so much. If I could just move on. I could just let things go and not let things get to me. I want to make stories. I want to make stories so bad. But that's not what's going to get me views on my channel. That's not what's going to get me, you know, I I need to do small stuff. I need to do daily uploads. And I'm trying not to just try a bunch of different random things and then drop all of them. I do want to have some consistency with my channel because there's an important aspect that comes with moderation, and that's not about like going hard and strong, burning yourself out, because you know you'll never get any progress that way. So doing the RPG advice thing seems good, and there's a lot more things that I could definitely do, but it's just kind of annoying to edit them. And so I'm thinking I might just go back to doing some readings on my channel, even though I know that didn't get me anything. I think if I do something like reading the Bible every day, that'll at least, get my channel the uploads per day. But I'm I'm trying to find something that will get me views. I just don't know what that is, because people like music, but that's not bringing back people consistently. And I could make music, but I don't want this to be a music channel. I wish I had more time. I wish I could work on stories and art and make big, amazing things for people to enjoy for the rest of their lives. But unfortunately, I just don't have the time or the money to do that. And it's getting to the point where I'm not sure what I'm going to do as an actual job in life, because my boss died, and so his wife took over, and she's shutting things down, and I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do, because this isn't taking off. I I've been putting out job offers to help people with writing and stuff, and that's not working. I've been doing so many different voice auditions, and I've gotten some people that will respond, but then it usually never leads anywhere. Even the few times that I have been invited to a group, they've decided, we want you to do a second round of auditions, and I'll actually meet the people and say, man, I really like you, I like your voice, we could definitely use your character or whatnot, and then they just don't get picked. And so I'm just really feeling like I'm just getting signs everywhere of this is not the thing I need to be doing. And it's just everything. Everything that I try to do. Everywhere that I turn, everywhere that I look, every little thing that I want to do, it's just not the thing I can do. I basically need a miracle. I need my channel to blow up. I don't know, because I have a Patreon, and I've told people about it personally, that hey, since we are friends, since you like me and you said that you would be willing to do anything to help support me, this would be the way to do it. And still I don't get anything. I've got one Patreon supporter at the moment. I'm just not really sure what to do at this point in time. Because it seems like streaming on Twitch isn't getting me anywhere, even though I'm doing the popular thing. I'm doing the regular. I tried the regular streaming. I tried streaming every single day. I tried streaming uh, longer on the weekends. I streamed for like 6 hours and still no views. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I didn't even like streaming anyway, so I just cut it off. I'm just not doing streaming. Turn to my YouTube channel. I'm getting some views, but I'm at 120 subscribers, which is way more than I ever thought I would get. But the unfortunate thing is that I need 1,000 before I can even start monetizing my videos. And then you only get paid by how many views you get. And I'm just... It just doesn't seem like YouTube is viable either. And also relying on people to donate money seems like the most viable thing, and that is absolutely not the thing to do, to rely on donations. That's just not a good way to go. So I'm just really struggling with, what am I going to do with my life? Because when I was a child, I was thinking, by this point, by the time that I'm 30, maybe I'll have a book out. And I've got 4 more years. But, well, less than that. But I'm just really trying to see how it's going to be feasibly possible. I was thinking, once I get a book out, that'll make some money. But that's probably not true. People are liking books less and less, and I just don't know. I don't know what to do.